What's up, world? My name is Will Royer, and I'm coming to you live from the Virginia Wayside Furniture studio. And this is 8 at 4, presented by VCU Massey Cancer Center. 8 stories about the people, places, and things you need to know about in the Richmond area. Today we're going skateboarding, doing some fishing, and having a little dessert. Come on in. Working on your summer body, Trevor Martin has a mobile way to build some muscle.
My name is Trevor Martin. We're currently at Marymount Elementary School, where we just finished up with my 10 o'clock RVA Strength class. So RVA Strength is a mobile gym where we currently run group fitness classes consisting of strength training, HIIT, cardio, and just pretty much all facets of fitness, as well as we do in-home personal training. We actually bought the concept from a friend of mine, and after we bought it from him, we tried to change things a little bit to fit myself and my other trainers, where we all have a strength and conditioning background along with the education to back it up. So we all try to incorporate that into what we do with RVA Strength to make it pretty well-rounded for anybody. I know seeing a lot of people that are fit, or seeing classes, or just seeing people out and about working out can be intimidating for someone who is like a novice or doesn't have, a good concept of how to work out or what to do. But honestly, the first step is just to make yourself uncomfortable and get started. I was once told you had to pretty much get comfortable being uncomfortable if you want some progress, especially with fitness. Our initial launch, we did a lot of setups at parks and things like that. But now we're kind of switching gears to where we're going to more in-home personal training. Because personally, myself, I love doing groups, but I also like being real personal and helping develop someone, and just the personal element of small groups or personal training. So that's what we're trying to move more towards now. We're still going to have a lot of different events, like our River City Roll event, as well as being set up on Saturdays, and we're also looking for some businesses and neighborhoods to set up in as well.
When we think about sports, of course the quintessentials come to mind. Baseball, football, basketball. But fly fishing? That one might fly under the radar. This is 8 at 4 Sports, presented by the Richmond Flying Squirrels.
All right, today we're going fly fishing on the James River that flows right through our city. Literally, you can be sitting at your job downtown looking out at the river and knowing that after work you can go after all types of species of bass. We've got bluegill here, catfish. My favorite species to catch right now is a smallmouth bass. Hopefully we'll get one today, but it's just nice to be out here. Those of you that don't know what fly fishing is, you're casting the weight of the line instead of the weight of this really light fly. So when you're spin fishing, you're throwing your fancy big heavy lure out, which shoots the line out with the weight of the lure. Whereas fly fishing, you're casting the weighted line, and you're doing 2 casts, a front cast and a back cast, to get your line out into the water. What I'm using here is called a clouser minnow, and it imitates some type of little bait fish that can be kind of swimming along the bottom that the smallmouth and largemouth will go after. Something else that makes the fishing community special here on the James River is the support everyone has for one another to help educate and get people outside excited about the river. Getting to run the James River Fishing Report on Instagram, RVA James River Fishing Report, has been so fun because I get to see other people getting out on the river and getting to catch all types of fish. It's literally in our backyards, and if people can go out and just try a few casts and get their first fish, that'll keep them hooked, figuratively and literally, on the James River and keeping it clean and just having fun right in our backyard.
Our very own Alberto Yapur took a trip to the Pasa Festival to celebrate Hispanic and Latin American culture. Here's what he saw.
Yo soy Alberto de Richmond Time Dispatch, estoy aquí en el festival que pasa, estamos demostrando la cultura latina, quiénes somos, con la música, comida, baile, vamos a pasar súper bien, ven aquí a tomar y vamos a ver qué está pasando.
El Pasa Festival es un evento importante de Virginia en el cual los latinos demuestran su cultura mediante su comida, folclore y danza. El festival fue todo un éxito ya que muchas personas esperaron que vuelva después de 2 años de pandemia. Se expusieron vendedores de toda Latinoamérica como Osvaldo, que no solo trajo reliquias de su país en Ecuador, pero también compartió melodías que llegaron al corazón de la gente al estar inspiradas por nuestras raíces ancestrales. En el Que Pasa Festival también tuve el honor de entrevistar a las Miss Mexicanas de Virginia y Washington DC, quienes estaban muy felices y orgullosas de representar su país.
No importa que somos aquí americanas, estudiadas aquí, crecidas aquí, pero siempre nos hemos embarcado en nuestras raíces mexicanas.
No sé si igualmente con mucho orgullo y honor de poder representar a mi gente.
En cuanto a la música, había variedad de ritmos y estilos con músicos de alto calibre.
Fue un día increíble, you know how it is, danza, drinking, like a lot of singing, like just getting like all the way in. So hey, hope you had a very good time.
Me alegra haber sido parte de este gran evento representativo de la comunidad latina en Estados Unidos. Muchas gracias y nos vemos la próxima.
Freedom, creative expression, and community are the ingredients for a happy life, according to Ivan Haynes. These also make up the essence of skateboarding.
My name's Miles. We're in Studio 607, High Club Productions, where I make music, take pictures. I rent out the space to other people. And yeah, all the creation gets done here. The skateboarding is where it all began for me. It gave me my ambition, it gave me my drive. It taught me how to fail, you know what I'm saying, to get back up and try again. So that translates into everything else that I do. And skateboarding just kind of gives me that therapy, being able to go out, set my mind on a trick and accomplish it. It's just like that feeling of being able to do like micro accomplishments, you know what I'm saying? I advise people to do it, if not just for that, just to show themselves that things are possible and then translate that same energy to their dreams and endeavors, you know what I'm saying? And just make it a lifestyle. Skateboarding, making music, creating, everything just comes back to, in some way, shape, or form, healing, yo.
Oh, we at Texas Beach, hidden skate park. It was built by local skaters. Just put their money together to have a place to skate, you know what I'm saying? It's been growing ever since. They're always adding new like pieces to the park. It affects the community in a great way. It's like the most therapeutic thing you could do with your day. It helps people get to know each other, man. It's like, it brings so many people together. I've made so many friends here, and I'm grateful for this place.
I've been told that there's a bakery near the river where you can grab the best oat milk cookies in Richmond. This place also happens to be staffed by a charming group of young adults with unique abilities. Take a trip to Tablespoons.
My name is Elizabeth Redford. I am the executive director and co-founder of Next Move. Right now we are at Tablespoons Bakery. This is a 1930s parsonage house that our team of special educators has renovated and turned into a bakery space. So the whole first floor is retail, where we greet customers. They're able to dine in with us, meet our students, connect with our inclusive team members. And then upstairs we have a mix of classroom space as well as meeting space and office space, of course, for our staff. The way that I originally got into the whole special education world is I grew up having a best friend that was born deaf. I learned a lot about the deaf community. I, in particular, learned sign language, usually the signs that you shouldn't be using, like how to curse in sign. But I learned a lot about how to just be a friend and be an advocate with somebody who was different in terms of their academic needs than my own. And then later in my own school process, I was actually diagnosed with a learning disability. And I went through my own struggles of feeling sometimes like I didn't fit in academically, feeling frustrated, not feeling seen, and then ultimately had some fantastic teachers who really helped me to work through all of that. And ultimately that's why I ended up becoming a special education teacher. I now am a step-parent, and one of my stepchildren actually has dyslexia. So I've now also been through that journey too as a parent, going through the special education process, and being an advocate for her. And so for me, Capable is all about how do we tell the history of our community, and especially of our state, in a more inclusive and diverse way, and how do we make sure that young people, regardless of whatever disability they do or do not have, are seeing role models from their own community that also have disability.
Vinceretta Hicks was born with a very rare pelvic condition that caused many people to view her as disabled. She wants you to know that she is very much an able woman.
My name is Vinceretta Hicks, and I go by Able Woman. And we are at the Virginia House today because they had their Next Move program. I was a keynote speaker today, and it was a wonderful time meeting all the children and all the young kids. Able Woman goes around sharing her disability, which I have, which is PFFD, and I talk to kids about making sure that I try to make sure that they feel comfortable with other children that have disabilities. And I also talk to kids about suicide, because there are so many kids that don't just have physical disabilities. Some children have mental disabilities. And so I'm trying to reach out to all the children to let them know that they have one life, and I want them to live it to the fullest. With our community, it would be so nice if so many people do include others that have disabilities. People that have disabilities, we have so much to offer. I am an author of 2 books. You know, some of us, we are singers, we are mothers, we are actors, but we are looked over because of the fact that we have a disability. When you see someone that is disabled, instead of staring, take time to ask, because we like to share. And we don't mind explaining what maybe our conditions are, but we just want to be loved like everybody else.
I will admit, I have never been a huge fan of bugs. However, Dr. Holly Freeman is an educator turned beekeeper who may have changed my perspective.
My name is Dr. Holly Freeman. I am an educator, a beekeeper, a photographer, and all-around naturalist. I found beekeeping through another Black woman, Nakaya Ellis Chavis, and it was not until I saw her beekeeping that I realized that I could be a beekeeper as well. Honeybees in particular pollinate about 80% of our food crops. Without bees pollinating these flowers and fruit trees, we wouldn't have food. Bees are on the decline, so it's important that we respect bees. And in our case with city bees, Nakaya and I are really trying to increase the bee population. For us, it's not so much getting the honey, extracting the honey to sell. What we're really trying to do is increase the honeybee population so that we can have more food production in the region. When you go to a hive and you hear the buzzing, the humming, the vibrations, you can feel it in your body, and it takes me back to a very ancient place where I can just kind of take a deep breath and relax and enjoy the process of communicating with bees, if you will. What I've learned is to kind of unearth that spiritual, if you will, energy from the bees, and also remember to breathe slow, be patient, and to engage in this kind of symbiotic relationship with them.
RTD reporter Wayne Epps talks about how VCU student athletes are using the new NCAA regulations on name, image, and likeness to earn a little money.
I wrote a story on name, image, and likeness, specifically at VCU. And the story kind of came about around the VCU Exchange, which is a new initiative that VCU announced in the spring, a sort of an online portal for their athletes to connect with businesses and kind of ease the process of athletes finding NIL deals and businesses finding athletes to partner with. And with that launch and doing a story on that VCU Exchange program, I wanted to use that as an opportunity to look at some of the more recent deals that VCU athletes have done at VCU, because it's such a rapidly evolving space. You know, we're coming up on 1 year that NIL has been in place, going back to last July 1st. And so businesses are kind of testing the waters, and you can kind of see over the course of the school year more and more deals and of greater value come about. So I want to kind of do an update on some of the more recent deals that have happened, and so I kind of delved both of those into one story.
All right, that wraps up another episode of 8 at 4 presented by the VCU Massey Cancer Center, where they invite you to imagine a future without cancer. I'm Will Royer, and I'll see you next time.